Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with Mike Carroll and Bill Englehardt, sporadically experiencing a little connectivity issue. But we're going to show the picture so you'll be able to see that and hopefully hear them talk. But
Bill, I want to make sure everybody out there realizes how much we hate modern technology.
we'll send
I do
Bill and
have
Mike.
apologies in order today, David.
Okay.
Bill's got an apology.
I've got apology today. The David Leitz, Roger Leitz thing, I was confronted about three different people on that, and they are correct, and I am wrong. It was David Leitz. I don't remember David Leitz being that small, even when he was a freshman in high school. And his brother was 2 years younger. Roger was 2 years younger than David. David was in that picture of the class of '69. My apologies to all those that we
Well,
talked about those characters.
No one accosted me.
Well, it was me trying to say it was David.
I thought it was Wayne.
Well, I know they all looked alike.
So when you hold yourself out as an expert, you better be willing to pay the price.
You're going to pay the price.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they can really be tough on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
How
told
about the ones they got wrong and you?
them.
We'll send Bill some love.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it wasn't too bad, and I was happy for the corrections. I really was. But
Your guys'
I would like
video,
it chewed out.
you can't really see your face real clear, so that's probably an advantage.
I said, yeah, we're trying to dark out today. Like the Muhammad's.
Let's just get to pictures. How's that?
Hey, I've got my email on.
Yeah, that's enough about fame for Bill.
yeah, that's enough.
You ready for the
Yeah.
first picture?
Yeah, we're just gonna go
Right.
through the pictures. So you can't really see us. Okay,
Okay. That's Ted Cox on the far left,
that's your church, Bill.
and I would venture to say it looks like Presbyterian Church because of the stained glass windows.
Who's over here on the right?
Oh, but they got Bill in the church. You
No.
cut your head in. Well, you would notice he's there with a room full of women.
That's Betty Weber.
Yeah.
Of course, I
Hang on a
had
second.
I had to Photoshop it in.
You just had to, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, looks
Here,
like
let's-
Ted Cox.
Yeah, that's
Let's show the regular picture. Oops, that's not it.
no.
That's the one I just showed.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, why is it still showing?
Hey, you're the tech master.
There.
Just your
See it now?
minions. Yeah,
Okay, Bill's gone.
that's good. Bill needs to be.
Yeah, Bill
Who's
needs
that?
to be gone.
Bill exited the building.
I
Looks like, is that Miles Thomas's wife right there next to Ted?
Mary,
Mary? Stan?
possibly that's Mary Thomas.
Betty Weber?
That's Betty Weber there, but I'm looking for people like Mary Ross.
I'll go back to the back, blow up this back part.
Oh, there's what's our teacher?
Mhm.
Or no, is that Doris Helm?
No, it looks like it's either Doris Helm or Quackenbush. I think it's Doris Helm.
I do too. Kind of looks like her.
Go back, keep going. Keep going.
That's as far as it goes.
Okay, then blow up right there's Betty Weber looking out with her glasses in the middle of the row. So,
I don't get them.
yeah. So this is further proof Bill was never inside a church because he doesn't know any of it.
Some of these pictures are from 1962 and some are from an undated envelope.
Oh, well, no wonder.
Yeah. Okay, ready for the next one. Okay, there we go.
Oh, boy. Arcola and Tuscola cheerleaders.
Left to right is Donna Baird.
Is it Arcola or
Tuscola.
Arthur? Bill McCord thought it was, said it was Arthur.
Well, we're going to do every other. The Tuscola girls is Donna. What'd you say, honey? Beard? Donna Baird, Jane Rothgeb,
That's Jane Rothgeb,
and Kitty Quiche in the middle,
right?
and Pat Consour. Pat Consour is the last Tuscola cheerleader. Remember Pat Consour?
Butch's sister.
Yeah. This is 62, I believe. 61.
No, like I said, some of the pictures were in a 62 envelope.
60 or, well, they graduated, Kitty Quiche graduated 61. So this has been fall of 60, one in 61. Okay, there's
Fortney.
Jim Fortney, I think, in the middle.
That's Orson Moorhead as the police officer.
These are also 1961. 60, 61. Not
Teresa
sure
Ard,
about the girls.
Teresa Ard says Mary Ard Nesbitt, far left.
Far left is Ard, yes.
Oh, neat.
Coaches, dads. See if we can see what year this is by looking at the dads. I think this is 60, 61.
So number 12 would be Perry. 11's Polig.
Yeah, number 12 is Jim Perry's dad. 11's Polig, Jim Polig's dad. In the back row, number 24 is Bill Kleiss's dad, I think.
Yeah, that's Mr. Kleiss.
Jim Kleiss. Let's look here. 34 is Bob Travis's dad, Leo Travis, down the middle row. Leo.
Yeah.
Bob was the fullback, I think. 77 is Phil Morris's dad, Johnny Morris.
I thought we'd get more than that, but it's.
And then 40 looks like Leo Travis too. Which one's Leo? 34.
34 is.
34 is Leo.
Yeah.
Kurt Turner says Lonnie Turner's dad, 25.
Yeah.
Down at the end. Yeah, it's kind of smudged a little bit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
But
little out of focus. And Jim Lemna is 76.
Well, you know what? I think it is. Mike Lemna played on that team with Phil Morris. So that's the class of 60. This is the class of 1960, I think.
John Coffey says Howard Coffey, number 74.
Yes.
Then you had Leo Travis and Jim Kleiss.
Leo Travis 34, Johnny Morris 77, Mr. Perry 12, Mr. Polig 11. This is 1960 seniors. Bill Kleiss 24, is Jim Kleiss's dad.
That 66 is a big man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Roger, who would that be? Lineman.
Kyle.
No, Vern Kyle wasn't that big. I remember him.
Anybody else we didn't get?
You had more names than I did.
Yeah. That's the famous class of 60, and that's Cox running out there, 81, Ed Cox. And that's Gunnar Taylor, 77, I think. Bob Travis, 34. Number 11 back there is Jim Perry, I think.
He was 12. I think Polig was 11.
Polig's 11.
I think. But I've been wrong.
Who's 40? Go back to the big picture. Walt Beasley was on that team. I didn't know Gunnar Taylor. Gunnar Taylor played on that. That's 77's Gunnar.
Well, let me find.
Go back to the
We
dads.
should be able to find his dad.
Go back to the dads. I think Gunnar 77, Travis 34. Don't know who 40 is. There we go. Let's see if there's a 70. No, 77's Phil Morris. And 11 is, you're right, 11 is Mr. Poley. 12's
I think Perry.
40. Who's 40? Ed Cox was 71, right?
These are not necessarily seniors, are they?
Yeah, senior day. The dads come out for senior day.
Okay, these are all seniors. They had a good turnout,
I
didn't
think
they?
so. 24 is book. Okay, go back to the guys running out then. I can't believe that. 77 is Johnny Morris. That's got to be Phil then. Yeah, 77 is Phil. Phil Morris is 77. There you go. Sorry, I called you Gunner.
Oh, you know what?
There's Trav 34.
You know who that looks like? 34 we said was Travis.
Yeah, I think so.
It probably is.
It's either 40 because Leo Travis was either 34 or 40. I think that's Bob Travis.
What year did Lloyd Anderson graduate?
Lloyd Anderson next year, 61, with Mercer and Court and those guys. This is 60.
How about that scoreboard?
Yeah.
Bob was fullback, I think, halfback. Kenny Snyder should have been in that photo. Let's go back to the dads again. Shouldn't Kenny Snyder was a senior in 60, I think.
I don't see his dad though. Although,
Isn't that Cox? Let's see.
well, his dad was a big man, Jim Snyder.
Big guy. Might have been building a house that day.
Big Jim Snyder.
70?
Well, I looked at 70, I looked at 66, and I'm thinking, Kenny played in?
Kenny was a fullback.
Was he a
Well,
fullback?
you know what? I don't know what he played.
He wasn't a lineman.
Could have been in the end. I thought he was in the backfield with Travis. Okay, we've had.
Well, that
We're-
was fun.
We're giving up. Yeah, that's a good shot. Oh boy, there's there's Kenny Hedinger, Louis Hedinger.
Yeah, Louis in the middle of Francis.
They're down the basement where he just totally redid the HVAC.
You think so?
There's that bowling, Bert.
No, I don't think
Like the
so.
only other name I have is Barbara Beals says Ray and Marcy Beals at upper left.
Yeah, that's Ray
okay.
Beals. That's Ray,
Ray
Beals.
Beals.
Yeah,
He looked familiar, but I didn't.
yeah, that's Ray.
Mrs. Beals. Yeah, Louis and Francis. Good picture.
Meeting in the basement somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Catholic church, maybe.
Okay, Roy Toomey is sitting down. He's the mayor. This must be the staff. I don't know. That's from the bank. That's is it Lois Kearns?
Lois Kearns.
And then that's Carl Connor's wife,
Right.
second from the right.
Right.
And we should know her, but I can't put it together.
Could be the gas company.
Could be the gas company. It is the gas company because Carl's wife worked at the gas company. So it probably wouldn't be Lois Kearns, would it? Because she worked at the bank.
Looks like her.
It looks like her.
Earl
Boy,
Hausman
I
says,
can't believe how much he looks like. Mark looks like his.
Carol
Jeans
Hausman
are
says, third from left, Mrs. Kearns, Alice Connor, and Mrs. North.
Oh, J.R. North's
yeah.
wife. Yeah. Well, she didn't work there either, so I don't know. Maybe it was something else to do with the gas company. Maybe they represented their businesses. Miss Kearns was the bank and J.R. North was the furniture company.
Mhm.
Carol Hausman said she thinks the
Yeah.
lady on the left is an OE. She says secretary at the high school in the early 50s. So I don't know.
Yeah, we don't either. There we go. I'll let you have this one. That's an easy one.
Yeah, yeah, real easy.
There's
Down on the farm.
Look at those porches underneath there.
Yeah. Do you have names?
Though I've got several pictures from this with other family members in
There's
it. No one seems to know their names,
That
but
reminds-
everybody
that
likes the
reminds-
pictures.
Reminds me of the old redneck joke. You know, you're a redneck when if your front porch collapses, 80 dogs run out from under it. Boy, when I was young, we played underneath there. There were skunks and raccoons.
Oh, yeah, I
and
used to
snakes,
Play under those
spiders.
kind of
Oh,
porches.
horrible.
Horrible.
Reminds me of a picture I have of my grandma and grandpa Dallas. That's all I ever remember grandpa wearing was overalls.
Well, one smart thing they did way back then was they have a handrail built for their steps going
Mhm.
up.
That helps, doesn't it?
Bill and I have a handrail that we carry around with us.
Yeah.
We just suction cup it up against there. Now, that's the press. That's your Tuscola Review linotype. The old line,
This is
isn't that a
probably-
linotype machine, Dick?
It's probably in the journal. And this is probably the linotype machine that's now at the museum.
Hard work back then, wasn't it? Setting up a paper. Hard work.
Bubba
Our
Humphreys.
Colum Museum had that one.
You say it's Opal Humphrey?
Bubba Humphreys asked Dorothy Fuller, is this your mother? And Leanne Spurlock,
Mrs. Wilson?
Leanne Spurlock thought maybe it was Mrs. White, but I don't know.
Doris White?
Phil's wife, yeah. But I do know it's a linotype machine.
My aunt, Jean Burmeister, worked at a paper doing the set up the linotype, and she took a job with the Indianapolis Star. And all of her kids went over and got jobs with it. Katie
Hmm.
and Larry.
I don't know how
and,
many machines they had, but I
had a
know-
good career for years doing the linotype. It was quite specialized.
yeah, they're complicated machines.
Yeah.
There is one at the museum. I don't know how many linotype machines they had. I'm guessing
Yeah.
just one,
Yeah.
but some newspapers had two or three of them.
It was just a step ahead of the Gutenberg press.
Mhm.
Okay. There's Harrison J. McCown. He's in the back, one by the tree, looking sideways, looks like
Yeah.
Budge McCown, Harrison J.
Springer.
Congressman Springer's two people to the right of him. This is the Republican conclave.
I think is this at that overpass thing?
I don't know.
I
looks
think
like
so.
Harley
This is a
Hammond.
different envelope.
That looks like WA almost from the side a little bit.
Budge would probably been state attorney back then.
Clayton Harris says Buck Jones with the bow tie.
Well, probably. Did you know Buck Jones?
No.
Well, the guy sitting down looks like the judge right before he sentenced me.
This he heard
Community
one,
building.
he heard one of your
Pillar.
stories, and he's
Yeah.
Yeah, he heard one of my best.
Yeah.
He heard one of my best jokes.
and he's
He
thinking,
probably heard one of your. He probably heard one of your god awful. He probably heard one of your god awful puns.
mhm.
Do you have a name for this picture?
Well, I don't have a name. I did hear some puns earlier today that
Are you
somebody
gonna
had
bless us?
somebody had a funeral and they asked this guy to speak at the funeral, and He got up and he said plethora. He sat back down, and the widow said, "Thank you. That means a lot." I don't have any names for this one either.
Oh, that's back in the days of wallpaper.
Man, I love that wallpaper.
Yeah,
I
I'd
left
love
the
to have that all
mirror
over
to
our.
see if anyone recognizes anybody in the mirror.
It's a King Edward cigar box.
Well, David's trying to get this over here.
Yeah.
See if
Oh,
I get this. Just,
oh,
Edwards Imperial. Probably bought at Flesser's.
I would imagine.
I don't have any names for this one either. I just posted
Well, that
these.
looks like
Now that's Doris White.
that's Doris White on the left, and that's her daughter Lucretia. I made that up. I didn't know if they had.
I was going to say, I didn't know they had kids.
I don't either. I threw it out there, just you
You
know.
think that's White or are
I'm
you
like
making
Trump.
it up?
I'm like Trump. I'll just throw it out there. I think that's Doris White on the left, but that's it.
Yeah, I do too.
You look like the one
There's
on the linotype machine.
Well,
It
It kind of looks like her.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like her.
maybe it is Doris.
Yeah,
Different dress.
possibly. Yeah.
Look at those glasses. Go back out to her and let's look at those glasses. Different glasses, I think. Same
Different
earrings.
glasses.
She had more than one pair.
Look at the earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at those are some fancy
Yeah.
earrings and a pearl
Earrings.
necklace.
Oh, now go back to her. Oh, the earrings look the same. I don't know. I don't want to get jumped by anybody.
Phil White buried here.
I don't know. Look it up.
I will.
Okay, on the Jim Lemon speaking at a Catholic function, I think, because that looks like a pretty serious Catholic person to his right.
Yeah, but it's not Father Casey.
No,
Could be Presbyterian
No,
no, they didn't.
they didn't wear
They
that.
didn't go high collar.
or Lutheran.
They all left with it. Could be Lutheran.
Mm-hmm.
They broke away from the church about a block. Who's that? We should know this guy down here. At the
Yeah,
right.
the guy on the right. I don't know. I can't.
Harold Hausman
Can't
says
get
on
on
the
them.
left is Nancy and John Hausman.
There you go. Nancy, there you go. It's a young Nancy Hausman.
And Marcy Shoemaker says Mr. and Mrs. Weber on the right.
You know what? That is one of the Webers. That's which one of the Webers is that? Let's go through them. It's not
And
Quentin.
Rudy Huber says Jerry Limna, Jim's wife.
Yes, that is Jerry sitting there next to him in the dark dress.
Ever.
You got everybody but the priest.
My neighbor.
Which Weber is that?
Just says Mr. and Mrs.
Um,
I'll assume it's one of the Weber brothers. One of the.
Yeah, he looks like him.
He does look him. And he was Catholic. The Webers were all Catholic. There's Polig, number 11. Right, Jim Polig.
Mm-hmm.
There's Phil White and their daughter Lucretia. Their two daughters.
Did recognize Phil White on the right.
Bill had on which. Yeah, that's Phil.
You know what? Maybe he did have children.
He did. Those are his high waiter pants.
Huh?
Doris on the left.
Do you suppose he did have?
Well, if they had, I didn't know it. That house right there is the one that Chuck Dirtle said,
sold
you're going to buy my house. I said, what am I going to pay for it, Chuck? $27,500. Can I see it? Sure, but you're going to buy it. Like negotiating with Trump.
Oh, it was.
I'll put 100% tariff on your head with my fist.
Yeah. Chuck won that battle.
Chuck won that battle. He won any battle with me.
Yeah.
I just been over.
Folded in. What's the match
I'm
box
trying to read the
say?
match box. Somebody running for office. I can't read it.
We'd have to be upside down,
Well,
wouldn't
we
we?
can, if David will blow it up, we'll probably
Dave.
read it.
Dave, somebody.
Well, blow it up a little bit.
Dave Glass. Dave.
Someone running for
Dave.
representative, probably Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Since we have some Republican signs in the back.
Pate for judge. There's a
Pate
Harry
for judge.
Pate.
Harry Pate.
Loman. Was that Lyle Loman's dad? I wonder.
Well, I don't know. Was it state representative? We don't know. What's in the bowl?
I don't know.
Leftover apple crisp. Oh, look at that pie.
Yeah. I wonder if that's been sanctioned by the health department.
Health department.
Okay.
Back to that
Okay.
game.
I thought
Well,
these
those plastic face masks did a lot for you, didn't they? Now, wouldn't 61 be Bill Kleiss?
Where?
Right there.
Well, what was his dad's number back there? Do you remember?
Well, I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
I knew these would be hard to identify, but I thought you guys would like seeing them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Arthur. They're playing Arthur. Back in the good old days, those plastic face masks, look at that. They didn't do anything.
No, you hit you. There's Trav over here, defensive end. 76 looks like Paul Donnelly.
Mhm.
12 back there is Jim Perry, safety.
Fumble.
Ball's in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Could be extra point try. There's the same picture again.
Mm-hmm.
Art
Same
and
picture.
Yeah, we've
you
seen
know
that.
what? I don't think. Let's see here. This is Chaplin. That's not.
That's not
Fortney.
Jim Fortney. It's
That's
Gary Chaplin.
Gary Chaplin, the oldest of the Chaplin brothers. We got that wrong earlier. Please don't jump on Bill.
Yeah, please don't climb me.
When he's out in public.
Um,
Gary Chaplin.
Carol Hausman
There's
says Mary Art on the right.
Yes. There was Gary Chaplin, Roger Chaplin. No, that's not Gary. Who's the oldest Chaplin?
mm,
Roger was the youngest. There were 4 Chaplin boys, I think.
really?
Yeah.
I have to look that up.
I played ball with Roger, graduated 63. Jim. Well, that is the Newman. We might have been playing Newman, Redskins.
Well, I suppose so.
That's Chuck White right there, sitting on there.
Something tells me it's not.
Do we need to put a
Something-
disclaimer in that when Mike doesn't know, he just makes it up?
Yeah, well, I've already said that to people.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference anymore, David.
I
Maybe Gary.
bet we know this kid.
Gary.
I can't
I've
even
got a
name more
possible
than that.
name.
Now that's Clyde Hadaball.
Clyde had a ball.
That's the name
I'll
I
be
had
darned.
from Bob Taylor.
He was a street sweeper. Ah, Bob Taylor. And that's an Oldsmobile behind him, I think.
About a 52-3.
Yeah.
You know, I cropped this.
Clyde,
Go ahead.
he imitated Woody Woodpecker. And he would come into the candy kitchen in the mornings to get something to drink on break. And Bill Skinner could do that imitation with him.
Well, that's some trivia to know.
Well, everybody needs to know that. Bob Taylor will appreciate that.
Yeah.
I cropped this picture to keep the tail light in on the car to help you identify the car.
We'll appreciate it.
Yeah, that right there is a 1923 Rollermaster.
Yeah. I wonder if that thing's still around town. They'd give me a job.
Looks like a homemade deal,
Well,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So he needs a broom and a
Yeah.
scoop.
He would go around town.
Oh,
62. Oh,
yeah.
man. Look at
Look
this.
at that car. Going in front of the Southboard.
Yep. Wouldn't you like to have that car now?
Oh, boy.
Is that a Super 88? Is that an old?
Look at the
Zero on that car. Is that a Super 88 old? For
Pontiac, isn't it?
I thought it was Pontiac too, but look at the name on it.
I can't
Well,
read it.
Zero on the front. No, it's not a Super.
Wide white wall tires.
Oh, yeah. Well, you just clean those all day long. Remember, we've gotten the date.
Well, Southward School in
That-
the background.
Right.
Another float. Swinging to victory.
Right, the sophomore class. Zero in on the gallon swing. Oh,
Whoops. Can't tell. Can you? How about the boys off to the right of the picture? If you back up a little bit to the regular size picture, there's some boys over here on the right.
like Gary Neal almost, middle.
How neat. Can't tell.
No,
I have one name
More
on this one.
difference. That one in the back's Dave Glenn, and that's him right there, I think. I think that's Dave Glenn. See the picture?
yeah.
That's him, I think.
What do you got, David?
That's the name I had from Scott Shearer. Said State Rep Dave Glenn.
Whoa.
Oh, I just thought of the other chaplain, Roy. Gary's the oldest, Roy, and then Roger.
I don't remember Roy.
Roy, blonde-headed, glasses, wore glasses. That's the Baptist Church, Tuscola. First Baptist Church, and that was the church I went to. I should know some of these girls here. Blow them up just a little bit. My mom probably was playing piano there. Sidey Jansen was probably the minister. Can you blow it up just a little bit on the girls? Okay.
I don't have any names, but
That's the Baptist Church.
Danny Matthews posted
That's
a Wikipedia post about the Jesus picture in the background. Apparently,
Yeah,
that's
looked like
kind of a famous picture according to Wikipedia.
That was one that was,
I grew up thinking that Christ looked like a California surfer.
that's
half a
one,
million.
a big one. Real big one was in the Presbyterian church, and it was donated by Gus.
Yeah.
That picture dates to 1940, and there's been over 500,000 reproductions.
Yeah, that was a big one in the church at the Presbyterian church.
Christ was Americanized with that photo.
Yeah, it kind of became the standard picture.
Right, that was your image. He was an Armenian Jew. That doesn't quite. On the right is Raymond Lee Jr. the Honorable Raymond Lee Jr. And Boylston.
This fellow back here looks familiar. How many names do you have on this?
If Raymond Lee.
It is Boylston, I
I think
think.
that's Myron Boylston, lower left.
But that same funeral, the next guy gets up and he just says Earth, and he sits back down. And the widow says, "Thank you. That means the world to me."
He's going to sprinkle these throughout.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get us kicked off the air.
Yeah.
Next guy stood up and said, "All," and sat back down. And she said, "Thank you. That means everything to me."
Now we need to know the name of the little girl. That's her granddaughter, maybe even her great granddaughter. Do you think people back then looked older than people that are older today look?
Well, he's 42. No, we've done a pretty good job of looking younger. We spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah, we do.
You dye your hair, for example. Well, and now we can get some kids in the picture here.
I think we've got 3 generations here. Don't you? We've got the son, the father, and the grandfather.
About her.
Might be great.
Might be 4 generations.
Yeah.
Good photo.
This guy here looks kind of familiar. I don't know.
Good family photo. Classic
Yeah.
Americana.
Classic Americana. We love it. It's at the depot. Is that John Wayne on the right?
That's Morrison. Myron Morrison, Milton. No, John Wayne. I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
partner.
Yeah.
I've got names for the two on the right.
Seriously, go ahead.
Henry and Vangie Kleiss.
No, Henry Kleiss. Vangie Kleiss. Wouldn't recognize her in
Vangie
that
Kleiss?
picture. We saw her in another picture.
That's the mayor's
Grandma?
grandmother.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of Vangie Kleiss in the 1923 yearbook, I think. Back here.
Huh.
Evangeline.
Didn't
Kane.
she live down there on the corner of Carrico?
Evangeline Kane.
On the corner of Sale and Carrico. She lived on the corner
I don't know where
on
they
the
live.
north side.
I don't know where they live. There's Harry Forster, coach of this is the JV group. This is 1960 JVs.
JV
On
or
the top
freshman?
row. No, it's either freshmen, sophomores. I think this is 1960, and these guys graduated in 62, so they're sophomores. Top row, number 11 is Dick Bean, 26 is Bill Alexander, Paul Donnelly's 13, Jim Manwaring 17. Not sure. Bottom row, right to left, is Harry Forster. Not sure. Denny Hackett.
Is that a Schaefer?
Could be one of the Schaefers. Denny Hackett, Maury Reese, Ronnie Wall, Wendy Ron. Now there's your
Ralph Brewer.
Ralph Brewer, and 4 maybe Wetzel.
Bobby?
Bobby Wetzel, quarterback. These guys all, these are, this is,
Wow.
I've got some more names.
Oh,
we didn't get all of them?
Katrina Colbecker
That's-
says she thinks 26 is Robin Simpson.
I think Robbins, Bill,
who? That's Bill
it
Alexander.
looks like Bill
Oh.
Alexander.
No, Bill Alexander. I mean, she tagged Robin Simpson. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then David Wilson says 17 Jim Manwaring, 13 Paul Donnelly, 11 Dick Bean question mark, 4 Bob Wetzel, 10 Maury Reese, then Denny Hackett, 14 and Carl Court.
What's Carl Court?
14,
14 is Carl.
Right. 14 Carl
Yeah.
Court.
Yeah.
And then Harry Forrester.
So 21, there's 21 up there is Wendy Ron, or number 1 is Wendy Ron. Which one's, this is Wendy Ron down here, number 1.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't look like Carl Court, but I imagine it is. Here's my problem in 60,
You've got a lot more than one.
I got a lot of problems. In 1960, these were the sophomores who graduated in 62. Carl Court graduated next year in 61, would have been a junior and was a great football player, started on the team, in fact. I can't believe he'd be sitting here on the JVs.
So maybe
That's not Carl Court.
I
maybe
think
they were
14 maybe
incorrect.
John.
I don't
14 maybe John Bell.
I don't think that's John Bell, is it?
Well,
John was Eddie Alexander's age.
63 class. This
Yeah.
is 62.
Yeah.
Well, he'd been a freshman.
That doesn't look like John Bell to me.
We don't know 14. There's Harry Forster's the coach.
Yeah, that's easy. And Maury Reese is easy. Wall's easy.
All of them are
Pretty easy to identify these guys.
Ronnie Wall would know who that is. 17, we inducted into in fact, the Hall of Fame guy, 17 was executive director of the American Waterways Experiment Station. He was the world's leading expert on water. Carl Court, if he was there, was president of Furman and Beckman and vice president of Kodak. If that's 4, go in and 4 and see if that really
Bobby Wetzel.
Bobby Wetzel was Hall of Fame. He was like very high up in Touche Roche, was it? The accounting firm, lives out in Pasadena.
Something like that.
Hope the fire didn't get to him.
He was
Number
always
one.
a good boy.
Who's number 1? He looks familiar.
Oh, this is a different picture.
I'm back to number 1.
Go back to number 1 just for a second. Is that Jim Huser?
Well, I was going to say it's Jim Huser to start with, but I thought, wait a minute, he's older than that, isn't he? But it sure looks
Jim
like
graduated 61, so he could have been a junior.
it sure looks like him, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just passed away a couple months ago. Great guy.
You put
Okay.
those 3 guys together like that, they're probably in the post office pictures.
Yeah. 14 could be a Schaefer, but I don't know. See, that looks like Jimmy Huser again right here. Number 1.
I think it is Jimmy Huser.
Yeah. So left to right's Ernie Brewer, Ronnie Wall.
Some of these guys aren't in the picture. Are
No,
they?
different. This is different. Ernie Brewer, Ronnie Wall.
Wetzel, Bill Alexander.
Bill
Is
Alexander.
that Kyle
I don't know if that'd be Steve Kyle or not. Ed,
Cox? I mean,
8 is Ed Cox, I think. Jimmy Huser, Ed Cox, Maury Reese, Hackett. Don't know 14.
21 looks like Lloyd Anderson.
No, he started on the.
I know, but it does from the side there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Manwaring's next to last, and then Dick Bean.
Nice helmets, boys.
Yeah, what we played, we just put a little leather, we put a little leather glove over our head.
Who's number 6?
Just a second. 6 looks like certainly Ed Cox, but
Ed Cox was older than that, wasn't he?
yeah.
Rudy thought it was Bill.
No, Ingo was back in grade school here.
Yeah, I was just a pup.
And we're guessing on Steve Kyle too.
Great picture. Good boys.
Good boys. Here's the
Oh,
seniors.
here we
There we go.
go.
Now
Now-
34, look at him. Bob, man, oh man, was he a man among men? He baled hay all those years.
Oh God, he was
Strong.
strong.
Jimmy Poe.
Look at his hands.
Yeah. 81's Ed Cox. 30's Gary Chaplin. 70 looks like Bob Mendel. 74 is Colby Coffey.
59 is Jim
Jim
Baird.
Baird, and 54. Not sure. I know him, but I just can't.
According to
think of
Kurt
his
Turner,
name.
is Cliff Burmeister, question mark.
Cliff Burmeister, yes.
There you go.
Cliff Burmeister.
Oh, that's a great picture. That's when you go to a football game on Friday night and get a big taffy apple, caramel taffy
Well,
apple.
they used to have the hot dogs was down at the West End.
West
that
End,
white
yeah.
shed. Yeah, that's where he came in.
Okay, I have some
So-
other names. Well, you may have had them all already. Did you have
I
number
think we
11?
did. We
I
named-
forgot them all.
Go ahead. I think we named everybody except Cliff Burmeister. Go ahead. Who do you have? See if there's
Yeah, 11, Jim Poling.
Polig.
Like 70, Bob Mendel, question mark.
Mhm.
Colby Coffey,
Right.
74.
Right.
Mhm.
Cliff Burmeister, Jim Baird, Ed Cox, Bob Travis, Gary Chaplin.
Yep.
Yeah, they got them.
Yes, 70, Bob Mendel, his younger brother Joe was my class. Joe has been over in England for years. He's a disc jockey
Yeah.
in England.
Yeah.
Joseph, left-handed, good baseball player.
Shot a basketball pretty well in grade
It
school.
was good. Look at Bob Mendel, though. I love that picture of Bob Mendel.
I love that picture. Travis, that's a great picture. Travis.
There's Springer, Congressman Springer.
I didn't have any names on that one, so
Your shoulder is, he smiles like, what's his name?
Do we consider these guys fat cats?
Not as fat as the cats today, buddy. It's the billionaire sitting there now.
Yeah.
Tech company billionaires.
Yeah.
The guy over Springer's shoulder is Lindsey Graham. So Lindsey Graham. There's Bucko.
Oh, Bucko.
There's Bucko with Harry Forster. Who's the third coach? In
you know who it
1960?
is.
That's not Murray, I don't think, is it?
That's what everyone's saying.
Well, it would have been his first year.
But it
I
doesn't
think
look
it
like
is
Gene
Murray.
Murray. Oh, you know what? Bucko's standing on the
Yeah, standing on the bleacher.
yeah,
Because Harry Forster was about 6'4".
yeah.
And that's the old bear. That would be his first year, though, I bet.
He must have lifted some weights. He just doesn't look quite as overpowering.
Well, he just got out of service. He was
In
worn
60
out.
Well, I thought he was Korean War, wasn't he?
Well,
No, this was
When I was in
later.
school, he was a lot heavier, but Butkovich looked just like he does in this picture.
Yeah, no, he had his hair actually dipped in plastic. He never had to have a cut or anything. It just stayed that way for 40 years.
Probably had a little more gray in it when I was in school.
Well, he painted it near the end, just
Yeah.
at his age.
Went to beauty shop, had tips done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the old water tower. Okay,
Here we go.
there we go. Here's some money. That guy in the back that's bald, it looks like Jim Sherrick, who ran for judge about then.
I think it is. And look at this. Kane Oil Company back in the background.
Yeah.
And the White House
That's
restaurant.
the White House restaurant. See the sign, Mike?
Yeah.
Did you buy that building?
Yes.
I thought so.
I sold steaks.
You know who that is? That's Jack Holmes.
That is Jack Holmes, the news director from Villa Grove.
Yeah.
Jeff and Brent's dad. Who was the third one?
Where was the White House? What's there now?
It was on the highway. It was out where the I bought a building and made it a little shop on the prairie for my ex-wife. Had a gift shop on the north side of the road next to the where you wash your car. and it
Is
was torn
Is that
down.
where Scott Flesser had his candy store?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we rented the west portion to Scott for about a year. Mike Martin used to be a chef there at the White House. Mike Martin was a good cook. Opal Humphreys and Roscoe Humphreys' son-in-law. But that's Jim Sherrick. Over here, once again, the second guy from the left is Jack Holmes. He had Villa Grove, editor of the paper. Jeff took it over. We had three boys: Jeff, Brent, a great lawyer from Mattoon, and what the third one called Jack also.
Mhm.
Good golfer, the oldest one.
The oldest is Jack.
Jack, really good golfer.
Jack Jr., yeah.
Got in a car crash there right near 130 Country Road. There's Carl Court. Now 50 is Carl Court.
Yeah, that's Carl Court, Dave Thody.
And I've never seen Dave Thody laugh. What a great shot. These guys, they were one of the best. They tied for the Oak Hall in 61. Carl Court was an end. Thody's the halfback.
Mercer.
Tommy Mercer, 40s up from Texas.
Red
quarterback.
Etzweiler.
75 is Doug Green, the
Yep.
middle Green boy. 84 is Big Red Etzweiler. And 66 back there is Rex Bridges.
Yeah, that's Rex Bridges.
This is one of our best teams ever. It tied Newman the last game of the year, and they tied for the Oak Hall. Newman had a fullback named Hendershot. Went on to Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
set state record in the shot put, and played pro football.
Red Etzweiler was Alexander's buddy.
Every time,
Ed got in trouble.
if I was at the WIC and saw a girl that Ed was looking at, and Ed came over like he was going to beat me up, I thought I could take this guy. And then right behind him was Red Etzweiler. It was never fair. It was never fair. I thought that the smaller guy brought a great big giant with him.
Didn't Bukovich say that Mercer was probably the best athlete he ever
He liked Mercer.
coached? He liked him,
He also
though.
said Red could have played college football at tackle. Carl Court, of course, was tremendous. All the Green boys were straight A, great football players. Tack Gray's three
Mhm.
great boys. Rex Bridges married Nita Bozarth, went down to
Mhm.
Indiana. Mardina was in your class, his sister. Dave Foodie's the guy I miss. I remember Dave. He was a great basketball player, great kid. I almost never seen
Point guard.
him. We played Mattoon High School one time. Harry Forster was a coach, and they had a 6'5" center, Dave Ping, and we had no chance. So Harry had Dave thought he dribbled the ball the whole quarter and take a shot at the last second. At halftime, it was 4-2. But Dave moved out to, I think, Nevada, and lives out there. I don't think he's ever come back home, but I always liked Dave. Never saw him after high school.
Tommy Mercer's girlfriend in high school, and I
Kitty
played
Kish.
golf with him, was Kitty Kish.
Tom Mercer and Kitty Quiche were the king and queen of Tuscola. Here's this family. Now it's down to 89 generations.
Now, we should know some of these folks, or the names anyway. I mean, just the family name.
Have you got a name, David?
Oh,
Oh, shoot.
Are we still moving or are we frozen?
well, move a little. I mean, yeah, you're moving a little bit. So the next guy steps up
They're
at
gonna-
the roll and says, bargain. And he sits back down. And the widow says, thank you. That means a great deal. What?
Bargain. God.
Now, these are the seniors in 1960. And you want me to go or you want to go?
Well, in the back, that's Forrest Ziegler, Mort Cunningham. I don't have him. That's Bernie Stabler.
Bernie Stabler.
That's Wall,
That's,
isn't it?
that's Jim Wall.
Jim Wall,
Kurt Turner.
Kurt Turner. You could do the bottom.
On the left is Mike Browning, Jim Perry, Mike Kyle, Phil Morris, and Mars,
Oh, Dick Mars.
Bob or Dick Mars.
Well, I've got some
Richard.
names, but they're some of them are a little
This is
different.
This is is that a Schaefer?
Don't know.
Alice Hatchell says bottom row, Bob Mars, Phil Morris, Steve Kyle, Jim Perry, Mike Browning. Top row, right to left, Kurt Turner, Jim Wall, Bernie Stabler, Larry Owen, Mitt Cunningham, Forrest Ziegler.
Yeah, we got them all except for Larry Owen, 57. Mort Cunningham had a younger brother, Pinky. I played football with Pinky.
Frank.
Frank
Mm-hmm.
played football. He graduated 62, 63. Phil's dad, 77, was the captain with
Oh my goodness.
Tack Green's famous 27 team. Okay.
Okay. On the back right standing is Helen Skinner and Bill and Helen Skinner. That's Helen Flesser, if you will.
Gus Flesser's daughter
Daughter.
graduated with my mother in 1940.
41, actually, I think. But there's the Hubers. Bill and Susie Huber on the bottom right. And then I'm not for sure. These folks down here look familiar. He's a farmer because he's got that brow. Do you have names?
The ones you had, and then Rudy Huber says John Stabler and wife Rear, dad's best man.
Okay. That's Johnny Stabler, who is the oldest Stabler. And if you look at the face, you can tell it's a Stabler, can't you?
Was he the principal down at Paris?
He was superintendent.
Superintendent got
Yeah.
killed in a car wreck.
Superintendent of schools at Paris. He played baseball at the U of I. Of course, Bill Huber was in Helen's class and your mom's class,
Well, my
right?
mom, actually, Bill was 41 and my mom was 40.
Yeah,
My
Helen
mom
was
graduated year before.
year before. She was 41. Johnny Stabler was with them. He played baseball at Eastern, I know, but he does look like a Stabler, doesn't he?
I think their
If you
dark
look
skin comes
real
from,
hard.
I think they had some Native American
Mhm.
ancestry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you didn't want to fight him.
Yeah, they were.
Was he killed in a car wreck?
I don't know. He was when you think about it, he graduated in 41, possibly. Linda Stabler graduated in 63, right? So
with their twin, Ronnie.
so they were the youngest.
Yeah.
Rita and Ronnie were the twins.
Yeah. What was her mother's
Linda
name?
was Mrs. Stabler.
Margarita.
Started with an M.
Margarita.
No.
I bought her car off of her, an old Oldsmobile she drove for a second car.
Gary Goodwin in my class was Rita's son, and looks a lot like him. Has that same coloring and
Yeah. Class reunion, huh?
In a basement. We've seen this one before with
well, I think some of them are different people though.
Well, there's the same.
This might have been an all reunion.
Yeah, that's Ray Beals on the left. That's the same photo.
This might have been some all school reunion for these folks.
Could be the same photo. Sometimes there's two negatives of the same shot, and I don't always catch it.
Well, that's Louis in the middle. Ray Beals upper left. Looks like Charlie Dodson on the lower right, but I don't know.
I think this is a class reunion.
But an all-school reunion to be held in the basement is not promising.
Wonder what building it is.
No idea. It's a basement. There's
okay. Now there on the upper right is my uncle Judd McGuire with Ada down below. Judd was 1 year older than my mom. Judd graduated in 41 with Bill Huber, one of Bill Huber's best friends. Was a great center, all conference basketball. Could do anything. He and Bill opened Clean Right Cleaners together. Wonderful guy.
That's Clarence Waters.
Clarence Waters on the far left. Is that Naomi?
I think it's Naomi laughing.
Stu Wetzel says second and third seated from the right. Harold and Betty Flume.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a reunion. Judd graduated 41, Huber was 41. So this is all, so
Yeah.
far, they've all been 41, I think.
Class reunion.
Could this be like in South Ward or someplace? It's got a blackboard.
Oh, the basement.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Could be.
I didn't go to
Could be.
South
About
Ward,
40.
so I don't know.
They were having a good time.
Yeah. Well, there's Harold Flume on the left and Waters on the right, two guys.
That's Francis Waters.
Francis, I say Clarence.
In the back left is Naomi Waters and then Helen Skinner. Yeah.
This is like the 20-year reunion for the class of 41.
Let's see, I've got Helen Flesser Skinner, Harold Flume, Francis Waters, Lois Waters, Betty Flume, Francis Hedinger, and maybe Esther Skinner, second from left, back row.
That's Esther's mother.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Esther's mother.
Class of 41. Okay, Mr. Teeters and Albert Teeters.
That's Albert and Mary Teeters on the
The
front
very
row, front row right.
That's what Carol Houghton had.
Guy with a cigar.
Smoking a cigar, driving everybody out. Oh, there's is that Jolly?
Willis?
Willis Jolly,
No, I don't think so.
smoking a cigarette. That's that guys.
There's Quentin Weber,
There's Quentin and
his wife. That's Orville Reinhardt
Orville Reinhardt, Laura back.
and Maxine Reinhardt.
Zero in on Quentin Weber. First time in my life I've ever seen Quentin in a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Quentin Weber was the salt of the earth.
Yep, he was a great guy.
There was a more honest, better guy in the world than Quentin Weber.
You couldn't find him.
I never met him.
No. Yeah, but that's on the far left in this light
Is Orville
suit.
painter
That's Orville Reinhardt and Maxine's in the dark.
with glasses?
Yeah.
Catherine. I think Quentin's wife's name was Catherine.
Paul and Wayne were their sons. And Paul's grandson now is Dylan Graves, the good athlete, football player, and he plays basketball as well.
Paul was my class, played tackle, went to Vietnam, wound up having some health problems, took him down. These were I think we're looking at Catholics there. Weren't they all Catholic?
Well, they were back then.
I mean,
it seemed like everyone was.
But I mean,
Catholic.
everybody we've named here, I think, is in the Catholic Church.
I hadn't paid that much attention to that part.
Quentin was, I think Orville was. Well, there's
I don't have any names.
Don't know.
Want to make one up?
I don't know where the
Sunny Lane
they
Farm.
are.
you know, downtown Main Street had a couple of auto things where you could pull your car in.
Mm.
You know, down there
Mhm.
about where the Kenny Hoag's got his restaurant. There was a Buick dealership. You could pull your car in there like that, get it worked on.
Old Chevy pickup.
Yep. Could be also the grain elevator.
Yeah.
We could have been looking at a grain elevator back there.
Now, the
That's
question will come up, which one?
Well, that's not Tuscola, I don't think.
No.
Oh,
I think it's Galton. Could be
Well, no,
Hayes.
I
I
thought
think
pretty,
it could be golf.
thought it was pretty cool with this wooden railroad crossing sign.
I think, well, it depends. If you're looking north, Galton had the railroad track looking south over on the west side.
Mm.
That's why I thought it could be. Which way are you looking there? If you're looking,
I think I'm looking north.
yeah, I think their silo was down south of.
South. Yeah.
That's why I
How
think it could
can
be
you tell if
Hayes.
they're looking north or south?
Well, because
Well-
if you're looking north, then if that's Galton, it should be back south of the tracks, south of this sign. I'm saying it's Hayes.
And if it's Hayes and you crossed right there,
Mhm.
yeah, pretty close. No doubt about it. You cross right there to
Mhm.
Hayes. That old building was gone. The elevator
Right.
still standing,
Then
so
it's
to
zero
speak.
in a little bit here. There's Delbert Graham, it looks like back there, but zero in on these here.
Hmm.
That Delbert Graham or Bob Hausman.
Bob Hausman. More, it
Hausman.
looks more like Bob Hausman to
Yeah,
me.
Bob Hausman, Catholic.
Marcy
Who's
Shoemaker
that boy?
attacked Judy Lane Moon and said, "Is that your mom?" Almost center front.
Right here in the light dress is Lane. I think.
Doris.
Looks like Doris.
But who's she sitting there with? Because
I don't
that's
know.
not him.
That's not him. Who's the guy in the string tie? That ought to be
Mystery man.
zero in on the guy in the string tie.
The kid?
See if we can recognize him. Yeah, the
Yeah,
kid.
the kid.
Hmm,
Hmm.
Don't know.
don't know.
And that's it.
Wow.
Oh,
So to get the Chaplin boys right, or if I forget it, Gary Chaplin was the oldest, graduated in 60. Roy graduated in probably 61, and Roger graduated in 63. Roy might have graduated in 62.
I just don't remember
Roger was-
Roy.
Roy was wore glasses. They all were towhead. They're all blonde, but Roy was almost white. They had the famous story. Roy had a 1938 or 40 Ford, white, painted white, down there, you know where they lived on Pembroke. And they lived about 2 houses in from the corner of Carrico and Pembroke. I think I told the story before that they were trying to pull the engine, put a hot rod engine in it, and they threw a chain over a tree limb. And Bud Nixon came by and said, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
He said, "We're trying to get this engine block out." I said, "Well, here." And he reached in and grabbed it and lifted it out and said, "What do you want it?" Those of you who don't know who Bud Nixon was, let's just say he and Chuck Turnell would have had a hell of a fight. And I would have bought either one of their houses if they told me to buy their house.
Bud Nixon.
Oh my gosh.
Jack Donalds talked about Bud Nixon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
He was back in the days of super tough characters.
yeah. When you grew up quick.
Yeah, life was hard. No cell phones for Bud Nixon.
No. Well, this week we got them all correct, didn't we? I think.
Pretty much. You got a lot of them.
We were over 100%.
Thank God they didn't have Dave Leitch in there again.
I'll tell you what, I was never so embarrassed when you kept insisting that was Dave Leeds.
I know I was
be on this damn program with me.
I was dumbfounded. I didn't want to say anything at the time.
Well, what can you say? I mean, you know, the guy just made a fool of himself.
I didn't want to correct Bill on the air.
He was just given Russian talking points.
Yeah.
He was wrong.
Well, the funny thing about the boys being Louis, Wayne, David, and Roger is the hair color and the face at that time. They all do
Oh, they all had the flat top.
look the same. Well, now it's funny. Wayne Leitz's grandsons, they would be his his great grandsons live down the street from us. There's three of them. Two of them are in preschool. The other one's in the second grade. And every one of them has that hair that looks like Elite's.
And
You
we
know.
just saw Roy Toomey that looked just like Mark.
Yeah,
And
no hair.
and we've got to say, genes do matter.
Genes do matter.
Genes matter.
Yeah.
Since I still have my newsboy display up, I added another one, my newsboy watch.
And where'd you find that? eBay?
eBay, yeah,
What did you bid on it or just buy it?
bid on it.
You bid on anything lately on eBay?
No.
No,
just,
it's
he just
I'm getting
They're
trouble bidding on
buying.
eBay.
What'd you buy there? 17,000 cigars last month? Was it
Not on eBay.
17,000? Or
No, about
7,000?
1,500 cigars.
Oh, okay. I heard 15,000.
No,
Well, anyway, I heard it was plethora.
it was puffery. Yeah. You trying to make a pun, Mike?
No, I wouldn't know how to make a pun if my life depended on it.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
I did read where Elon Musk hates common sense. He wants to get rid of the penny.
Yeah.
Common sense.
Well, I've always heard
CENT.
it costs more to make a penny than what the penny is worth.
Here's a crazy thing. I'll send you the article if you want to print it this week. I did the math. The penny costs 3.67 cents and it's worth a penny. And they print about 3.2 million of them. The nickel is going to be the common unit. And they've got to greatly increase the production of nickels because nobody's going to have any nickels. They only produced 70 million last time. So they've got to go to, they had 3.2 billion pennies. They got to go to like 1.4 billion nickels. The nickel costs 13.66 cents to make. So they lose 9 cents on a nickel. So by getting rid of the penny and increase the nickel to 1.4 million or billion, they're going to wind up losing a net 36 billion dollars over getting rid of the penny. They'd been better off just leaving the penny alone.
So I want to back.
Or they'd been better off getting rid of the nickel and calling the penny the nickel.
There you go.
There's always unintended consequences.
Well, I want to back you up a little bit. You said, here's the weird thing or the odd thing or I don't remember the word you used, but it made it sound like there's only one weird thing. There's multiple weird things every day.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Yeah. What world are we living in right now? I mean, whose world are we living in?
I guess if you fire 1,000 people, then you figure out which ones were essential and bring those back.
I've got so many stories. The Corps of Engineers, when I was up there in the 70s, they banned hiring. They put a hiring freeze on to save money save money. But they still had all this work to do and they couldn't get it done. So they had to contract out. So they contracted with private industries. They wound up spending the same amount of money. They also had a deal where a directive came down that said get rid of 5% of your staff. So it went from the general to the colonel to the major. It came down to the Corps of Engineers to the director to the division, all the way down to where the people laid off were the secretaries and the janitors at the very bottom that had no power. So then about 2 months later, they all said, we can't do our job anymore. We need those cuts restored because they laid off people at the bottom that did the work. There are always unintended consequences, David.
Well, and I know, a lot of times those budget cuts are made without real deep study. I remember I was working at a daily newspaper in Southern Illinois, and the publisher came to me and said, we're cutting 10% across the board, so you need to cut 10% out of your budget. I said, okay, who do you want me to let go? Because that's the only place you're going to get 10% in my budget.
Yeah.
So
and usually the water falls downhill and you fire somebody that you need, a secretary or a janitor or somebody that does the.
I mean, we had a mortgage on the building. We can't control that. We've got heating and cooling costs, electric and gas. but you can only control so much of that. You can turn the thermostat down, but really, how much control do you have over that? We were a satellite office, so we weren't printing the paper. That was done in Centralia. So the only place I had a $300,000 budget. The only place I could cut $30,000 was to
It's a
fire
salary.
at least one person and probably two.
Yeah.
So
David?
they decided I didn't have to cut 10% out of my budget.
David, would you want me to send you an article that I wrote that has puns in it?
I'll take anything you send me, Mike.
Well, I'll send you one with a punny one. I'm
like
not saying it's
puns.
funny. I'm not saying it's funny. I'm saying it's punny.
I like puns.
I'll send you a pun article tonight.
Now, I entered a pun contest. You could send in the maximum you could send in was 10. So I sent in 10 puns, hoping that one would win. But as it turned out, no pun intended.
Mine probably won't be as funny as that.
Well, I didn't make that one up. So
I'll send you one on the penny. A punny
penny?
one on the penny.
all right.
Yeah. Got a penny?
Got a penny?
Penny
Bill and
for
I
your
used to go
thoughts?
Bill and I used to go to the
Taste freeze.
taste freeze with Mr. Thompson, Marge and Glenn Thompson,
God.
a couple of Tuscola graduates back in the 20s. And I don't care what you ordered.
Didn't matter.
You got a penny?
Got a penny? Yeah.
Whatever the price was, he asked you, got a penny.
I think it was Stephen Wright said, "Why is it a penny for your thoughts, but it's your 2 cents worth?"
I don't know. My favorite Stephen Wright joke is, I have the world's largest collection of seashells. I store them along all the beaches in the world. He could be funny every now and then.
Reminds me of my favorite Mitch Hedberg joke. He says, "I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to also."
Oh boy.
I use
Well,
that with cigars.
reality. check.
I used to smoke cigars. I still do, but I used to also.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't smoke anymore. I don't smoke any less. Yeah.
I tell people I quit
I think-
yesterday. I'll probably quit again tomorrow.
I quit smoking cigarettes 15 times yesterday.
Mark Twain said
And I
quitting
quit
cigarettes is
15
easy. I've
times
done
a
that
day.
hundreds of times.
Yeah. Well, David, how many of those 1,500 cigars have you mowed through? Have you kept track of it?
No, but I'm making my way through them.
I need
This
to
is
come get one. When it warms up, I'll come get one from you.
This is a La Gloria Cubana.
Yeah, that's a good cigar. That's about an $8.99 cigar.
Not the
$8,
way I
that's
buy
about-
them.
No, you buy them for $1 or $2. You get a heck of a deal.
That's a $2 cigar for me.
Yeah.
All right.
David, thanks a lot. I'm glad we got it in. I'm going to wind up getting a new router and modem, I think. This thing's horrible.
Warriors, Lady Warriors play tonight versus Arcola in a regional tournament. And Friday night's the last boys home game.
It went quick.
It goes quick.
Hey, David, were we still moving by the end of the program, or were we sluggish again?
Not moving now.
Oh, okay. You can't say
Pretty,
anything.
pretty sluggish.
Okay.
Our
And
Our
we're
sponsors,
fast.
our sponsors this week are Trust Bank and Elite Builders.
We'd like to thank both of them.
We
Yep.
appreciate their help.
I'll
Appreciate
work
that.
on my connectivity at this end, David. Maybe upgrade some technical stuff. I'll get a plethora of stuff, David.
Oh, that means a lot, Mike.
Okay.
I'm gonna check with my fan club to see how many mistakes I made.
Well, I tell you what, I hope they jump your bones, not mine.
Yeah, don't worry, they won't.
Well, we're just glad they're watching.
We're glad they're watching. Yes,
Keep
they,
it-
they are good
Keeping
souls.
keeping Ingo honest.
Keeping me honest. And I just never knew or thought of him being that small.
Well, you got to get over it.
That's why I say, when I get an email from somebody, whether they like what I wrote or not, doesn't matter to me. Just shows they're reading it.
As long as they're reading it. Yeah, there you go.
David, read
Fan
your
mail or-
article today. You're a, you're a moron.
What?
Thank you for your article.
Yeah. So fan mail or hate mail, it's all the same to me. No, I think you guys were really on today. I was more off today. You guys were the more ons.
Well, that means an awful plethora to us.
All right. Well,
Dave-
we'll see you.
David, honestly, David, I hope you live to be 200 and I give your eulogy.
Yeah.
Apology. All right. We'll see you next.
Eulogy.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
All right. See ya.
Eulogy.